What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy, Maxime and Yorkie, for coming through and boosting up the coin. So, we got an unfortunate tale regarding Tyson Fury, aka Luke Partridge, the Benidormian expat. Yeah. The biggest bum of Benidorm. That's what this cat is. That's who he's being described as. Yeah. He ain't in training camp. And he's not going to start training camp until 6 weeks out. Here we go.
It's great being a fan, isn't it? Great. Absolutely fantastic. You love your boxing. You want to rule again. How are preparations going for the big rematch before Christmas?
I haven't started training yet. I won't go into camp for a good while. I think I've got 13 weeks today until my fight. So I'll probably start training in about 6 weeks for it. I'll do about 6-7 weeks of training for these fights usually. And I'll be ready to rock and roll on the night. Roll on 21st, come on. Yeah.
Now, people say all the Tyson Fury homosexuals will allege, oh, it's not really, he's only messing. Not messing, people. Yeah, name me one athlete in the history of the game who is in that kind of shape. Same as Mr. Blobby, Double Cheese Ruiz. They say, oh, it's my genetics. No. If you're training 4 hours a day in, day out, for years on end, you're never that soft, ever. It's impossible, man. It's impossible. It's not like Tyson Fury. James Toney was soft at heavyweight, right? The guy's like 5'8", 5'9", or whatever, and he's at heavyweight, so he's gonna have to be fat. Tyson Fury is 6'9". When James Toney was training at his natural weight, he was 160, bone dry lean. Do you understand? That's what athletes do when they're training every day. 2, 3, 4 hours a day. You got an hour of practice in the morning, an hour in the afternoon, S&C. Then you got another hour in the evening at least. That's 3 hours at least. It could easily be 4 or 5 hours. It's impossible to be soft like that. That's gluttony and laziness. I'm sorry. Domingo called it. And I agree. That's what it is. Watch the Vlad fight back. Tyson's never really been in shape. I think that's probably his best shape. And you can tell that by his weight. But even then, he wasn't that active in that fight. He was faffing around and he was nicking rounds here and there, but he wasn't active. I mean, against Usyk, you need to be able to be active for 12 long rounds. And if you're talking about knocking Usyk out, no man is knocking Usyk out. Damn sure not Tyson, my chin's skeptical. Tyson, my legs are skeptical. Tyson, my power's skeptical. Fury ain't beating Usyk on 6 weeks' notice. On 6 weeks of training camp. I believe Tyson's saying this. I think Tyson's actually training now, if I'm honest. But I think he's saying this as a hedge. When he gets beat, he can say, well, I only did 4 or 5 weeks, and that's all I do, 4 or 5 weeks. Equally, he is lazy, so it might be true. He might be delusional enough to think, I can do nothing and still win this fight. But I think he probably is training, but he's setting the scene to get knocked out. Oh yeah, well I told you, I don't care about this game, I only do 6 weeks. He was in the gym, because Usyk's been training since the end of August, literally. I think Usyk started his camp at the end of August. I saw a video of him. I was like, whoa, guy had like 4 months, right? September, October, November, December. Yeah, it worked out. Usyk went to camp at the end of August. And I remember looking at the time thinking, whoa, that's 4 months. Looking at 18, 19 weeks there, people, in 4 months. Certainly 18. 18 weeks Usyk's doing. And he's just had a newborn that he missed the birth. He back in camp. Yeah? That's what he's doing. Tyson, he's out, he's doing this, he's doing that. He's mingling. He's back in Benidorm, no doubt. Never mind training in August. Tyson spent the whole of August in Benidorm. I did videos on it. The whole of the summer holiday, he was in Benidorm. He just got back now, and now he's back and he's still mingling in the pubs and doing the pub circuit. Yeah? Doing the festival circuit. That's what he's on. And with this information, I'll wait till the weigh-in. But ultimately, if Tyson comes in again soft, he'd have to Remember Billy Joe Saunders? Billy Joe never had no cardio. Look at it, Billy Joe versus Eubank, never had no cardio. He gets with Dom Ingle. Now, some people say it's the juice. It could be. It could be the gear, to be fair. There's a few man from Dom Ingle's gym who's popped, but Kell Brook never. I don't think Naz never either, so you can't say it's all the juices. Either way, Dom Ingle got Billy Joe in 12-round sharp Jippo shape against David Lemieux. David Lemieux's no good, but still, that was the best Billy Joe looked. He was sharp from round... I can't tell me one fight you've seen Billy Joe look sharp from round 1 to round 12. He always fades on the back straight. So, I respect that. And that's what Tyson should have done. SugarHill's not a trainer like that. What's SugarHill done? Got Jared Anderson knocked out. He didn't make no difference to Ben Whittaker. SugarHill's just a brand. A brand from his uncle. That's what he is. He's never really done. What's he ever done ever? He's like... SugarHill's like 50 years old himself. So what's he done in the last 20 years of being a trainer? We don't know. Yeah, Tyson literally went to SugarHill because, that's the Kronk. Not because SugarHill done nothing. That's what happened. Tyson went to SugarHill hoping that there was some Emmanuel Steward left there. That's what he went there for. Not because he did nothing. And obviously since then, Tyson did a good job with Tyson in the Wilder second fight. And everyone's bum licked it. Ben Whittaker went there. Like I said, what the other guy? Jared Anderson went there. Oops. Big oops with Jared Anderson. There's other dark guys as well. Okoli went there. That was Okoli's worst fight, man. I'm not saying that it's not SugarHill's fault that Okoli's no good. Okoli's a finished Mandingo. A finished Mandingo spider stick insect. So you can't make a Mandinga stick insect fight. That's what SugarHill found out. But still, the facts are, you had Okoli in his worst fight. Shane McGuigan had Okoli half fighting. He still wasn't all the way there, but he was getting there. SugarHill, he did nothing but cling on for dear life. That's what he was doing, man. He was clinging on for dear life in that Chris Billon-Smith fight. So I'm not impressed with SugarHill. His claim to fame is 2 Fury fights, Wilder 2, Wilder 3. But Ngannou was rubbish, and Usyk was rubbish, and you had no control of your corner. You might as well have given a punt with Dom Ingle. Is what you should have done. But Tyson don't want that. I think Tyson understands he's in the retirement end of his career, and he's thinking, he's already made it clear. Even if I lose 50 times, I'm still going to fight AJ. So in his mind, okay, I'll lose to Usyk for 100 mil. Me and AJ can have 2 or 3 fights for another 200-300 mil. Sorted. Doesn't matter now. To beat Usyk, okay, whatever. It's the bonus. And I think if Tyson can go in there and beat Usyk, he'll take it. But he's not gonna go back to Spartan lifestyle. He's not gonna go back to 16, 18-week camps like Usyk that are bang on it. Tyson will get into camp, 290 pounds, 6 weeks out, and then spend 6 weeks losing 20 pounds. That's what he'll do. Because that's who he is. He's the Benidorm, the biggest bum of Benidorm. Yeah, that's the show he put on. That's the only thing he does consistently is fly out to Benidorm with the drinks by the pool. You can say, why people, he's earned that. He has, but that don't mean he's going to beat Usyk though. This is because he's earned coin that enables him to bum around in Benidorm. It don't mean it converts to nothing when the bell goes. When the bell goes, who's put the work in? Who wants it? And he don't want it and he ain't put the work in. So forget about him, man. And even if he wanted it, and he put the work in. His chin's skeptical, his power's skeptical, and his legs are skeptical. So I think it's a safe place for people to hold up where they kind of like... It's safe for them to feel like... It's safe for them to feel like they're not doing nothing. I remember John Jones saying... and that's John Jones. He's the pinnacle of athletes, right? John Jones said the reason he was on La Coca, the reason he was putting 2-2 Kinahan up his nose was because he felt like, if I go partying the week before, then if I lose, it was the pressure of winning. If I lose, I've got the excuse, I was on the cocaine. That's what he said to Dan Cormier. He said, oh, I beat you whilst I was on the sniff. So it's a win-win. Either you win on the sniff and you can say, well, you got beat by a sniff head. Or you lose on the sniff and say, well, I was on the sniff, so that's why. It's a built-in excuse. Same here with Fury. It's a win-win. Fury beats Usyk with 6 weeks training. He says, oh, you got beat by a man I wasn't even training properly. He loses, he can say, well, yeah, Usyk's a committed guy and I'm just having a faff around and I've just come off the beach in Benidorm. It's a safe place, and it shows you psychological weakness. Usyk's man enough to admit, I'm training hard for this. This means something to me. I'm putting it all on the line. I'm standing before Odin, the god of war, ready for him to receive thee. That's what he's ready to do. All my cards are on the table. I'm working hard. I'm giving my best. Fury's sitting there building in excuses and building in reasons why it might go wrong. He's smoked. It's over for him. I'm going to make some bread off him. He's finished. He's finished, man. Make some coin. 70% return. You put $100 on Usyk, you get 70 quid back profit. Simple. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Do you think it's cap? These guys finished, man. These guys finished. He's not this humorous. Although there was one video I saw where he said, yeah, I got pissed off after my Usyk fight because people were asking me, oh, did you train for that fight or not? And Fury's implying, again, he was implying like, he took that personally. He's taken it personally that people think he didn't train. So yeah, it's conflicting. But I don't think Tyson knows really what training is. I don't think he knows, which a lot of athletes in boxing don't know. A lot of athletes in boxing, what they consider training isn't really training. Yeah, going in there and tapping a bag a bit. You ain't getting the consistent red line heart rates, and that's why these guys get in a fight and their heart rate is blowing out 180 and it's all new to them. Sitting on a bag, yeah, tapping a bag all day and night, like you see Floyd Mayweather. I mean, he's a good example of cardio, to be fair, but you see Floyd Mayweather just tapping the bag for an hour long. Really? That's not what you go. He ain't punch, but if you're looking to do damage, you've got to find a way to replicate what you can do in a fight. In a fight, have your heart rate 180, 190 at points. So you need to be in there in a training environment where your heart rate is going 180, 190. And a lot of these experienced boxers, they'll be in these bars with these random bums and their heart rate's going to be 120. It's comfortable for them, which is no good because you're not going to be comfortable in fight night when Usyk's giving you the feint, giving you a slap in the mouth, slapping you on the mouth. You're not going to be comfortable. Your heart rate is going to be going through the roof. Your nose is going to be bust up. So this is the problem. Yeah? Slapping a few pads, doing set pieces. I've seen guys on the pads before. They do like a 20-30 second run of pads where the pad man's bringing their pads to their glove. The pad man's doing more than the boxer. Pads should really be done where your hands don't move. Because no boxer's head is going to come towards you, is it? So what's the point? Why do pad men throw their hands at their... kind of throw their pads into the boxer's hand? Nothing in boxing does that. If you're throwing a body shot, their body doesn't come to you. So pads really should stay pretty static. And the boxer should punch to you. The reason they don't do that is it doesn't make a great noise. Yeah, big noises come when you have two forces impacting. So if you want to make the show pads, the pad man will be slapping the pads to make the biggest noise. But really, you're not replicating what's going to happen in the fight. What's going to happen in the fight is you want the pads here, that you can punch someone's head, or you want the pads on your body, etc., etc. So I saw Tyson on pads doing this clown thing where he throws like 4 jabs and he lets a quick combination off. It's cool. It's like you throw a combination off on the pads and then you have a rest for 10 minutes. It's like, people in boxing call that training. Yeah, set these set pieces. Yeah, throw a 10-punch combo and then reset for 30 seconds. That's not going to get you conditioned, man. You need to spend extended periods, I'm talking 2-3 minutes plus, in the 180 range of your heart rate. There's nothing really in boxing training that I've seen that does that. Even these runs they all go on these runs they're just jogging about, low aerobic kind of 130, 140 beats a minute, which is fine. In boxing, you're either exploding or you have to get the both in there. And I'd lean towards, it's better to have red line conditioning than it is a whole bunch of aerobic. Well, going for walks and runs in the fight game or in any top level sport, you can take or leave that. I believe you get aerobic endurance from top lining for long periods of time. That's the pinnacle. Anyone can jog around at 130 beats a minute all day. What's that doing? Any bum can do that. What's really valuable, what people don't want to do, is be redlining for 2-3 minutes at a time. That's how you get fit, folks. And it saves you time as well. What's the point? You can go on a 2-hour run at 130 beats a minute and still not be fit. And still be blowing the minute some shots start flying. Because your heart rate's gone up to 180 and then you ain't used to doing that. What I can tell you is, if you're used to being exposed to 180 beats a minute plus for extended periods, you've been there before. You know what it's like with your heart pumping out your chest because you've been there. And it becomes normal. So that's my opinion. But these old school trainers and that, there's some trainers you can get you in shape, but they don't. Yeah. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Tyson ain't got this, man. SugarHill don't know what he's doing. SugarHill isn't even old school to know what the old school was doing. He's not. You know what I mean? He's not new school to understand a bit of science, and he's not old school to understand that either. So he's just in the middle, and it's a bunch of nothing. That's what I believe SugarHill doing. A lot of trainers are like that though. It's a bunch of nothing, bunch of fiffing and faffing. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, like the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this one. People stop it.